Good morning to all the NICU moms out there. I'm starting this YouTube channel to talk about having a child in the NICU. I'll tell a quick story about me. I'll go into details later in another video. But at 18 weeks, I took an ultrasound, and the tech, she said she noticed my cervix looked a little short. So they sent me to a high risk doctor. Sorry about my voice. I'm kind of losing my voice. I went to a play last night. Sorry. They sent me to a high risk doctor, and she told me that my cervix wasn't short and looked completely normal. Fast forward, I took one last trip to the Bahamas before I got too far along that I couldn't travel, and I was 22 weeks when we left. We drove the car down from Atlanta to West Palm Beach. While we were in the car, I made sure I didn't drink a lot of water like I normally do because I had to go to the bathroom. But then my husband was like, don't do that. If you have to go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom. So I started drinking more fluids like I normally do. Everything was fine. So we got to our Airbnb, took a shower, ate, woke up the next day, got onto the ship. As soon as I got onto the ship, we walked around, laughed. One of my girlfriends called me up and we were talking. I said, girl, I gotta stop talking to you because I gotta pee. She said, what? I said, I feel like I peed myself. So I went to the bathroom. Sure enough, I had to pee. But the first part of it didn't look like pee. It just looked clear. And I was like, it doesn't smell like anything. It's so weird. I said, hey, babe, I think I peed myself. And he was like, you're a grown woman. What do you mean you think you peed yourself? You know when you have to pee. So I said, yeah, that's true. So, day 2, we're in the Bahamas swimming. Everything's fine. Day 3, we come back. Day 4, we get back to Atlanta, drive back, and we get out the car and stop at the Walmart before we go home. And it happened again. I said, man, I peed myself again. He said, man, you need to get this under control. So we went to Walmart, got home, it happened again. So I said, babe, I'm not crazy. I'm not peeing myself. I said, I think it's amniotic fluid. He was like, why would it be a fluid? I said, I don't know. I think my water broke. He was like, water broke? I was like, yeah, your mom was telling me that some women's water break at 22 weeks or earlier. I was like, whatever. So I said, smell it. He said, it doesn't smell like anything. I said, it's the same thing I said. And when I looked online, it says amniotic fluid doesn't smell anything. If it does, it smells slightly sweet. So I called my OB. She wasn't there, so I called their on-call number, and the nurse said, we'll have a doctor get back to you. She told me to put a sanitation pad on to wait 2 hours, and that she would, sorry that I'm moving, I forgot my stand. She said that wait 2 hours, and if you see any liquid, call me back. I didn't have any problem, so that was on Tuesday. So Friday, I knew I had a high-risk appointment for an ultrasound. So I told the tech, I said, last Wednesday, I peed myself, but it didn't feel like I peed myself. I said, and then I went to the doctors, and they checked me. They said, maybe it's a UTI, a urinary tract infection. So they checked me for that, and that wasn't it. And all of a sudden, the tech, who was super talkative, stopped talking to me. And she said, when did this happen? Okay. And she said the doctor's gonna come in. Now normally she talks to me, we laugh, and then she said, I'm gonna go get a doctor. But she was so serious she wouldn't even look me in the face. And then the doctor came in and looked. He said, I hate to break it to you, but you've been leaking amniotic fluid, your water broke. I'm like, water broke? I'm like, I'm only 22 weeks, like there's no way. I said, so what's gonna happen now? I automatically got afraid because I'm like, they're gonna have to take my baby, or I'm a miscarriage or something crazy. She said, oh, you're gonna have to stay in the hospital. I said, you mean tomorrow I could go home and get my stuff? She was like, no, we're admitting you right now. You cannot leave. We're gonna start you on a round of antibiotics and steroids. And we're gonna monitor you to make sure you're not having contractions. I was completely devastated. I mean, shattered. I get choked up talking about it. So, fast forward, I'm stuck in the hospital By the grace of God, I last 2 months. In 1 week, my baby came at 31 weeks. And I had to get an emergency C-section. I went into labor at 3 a.m. in the morning. I started having pains. And I thought at first I just couldn't sleep. And then I started having really bad pains. I'm like, no, these are contractions. And the nurses were very, very concerned because the whole time I was there, I have never had one contraction, never had any signs of labor. So they came in and gave me magnesium to slow them down, and they were 20 minutes apart. The magnesium sped the contractions up to the point where they were every 5 minutes and they were every minute. And I was in severe pain, and I was like, y'all not gonna give me anything for this? And they were like, no. We're gonna call a doctor and see if she can do a C-section. I was like, when? Tomorrow? And they was like, no, today. That was at 8 a.m. By 9 a.m., they were in the room prepping me. They had the IV team in there because I'm a hard stick. They had this little light, find my veins, hook me up, had me ready for the epidural, whatever medication they were going to give me. They gave me another medication to protect the baby because it was going to be born so early. They came in, shaved me, took my underwear. I mean, it was just crazy. They moved fast. By 9:30, they were ready to go. The nurse comes in and says, where's your husband? I said, he's not here. She said, did you call him and tell him? I said, yeah, I called him 6 o'clock this morning. She's like, no, you need to call him and get him here. Shout out to my nurse. She's awesome. Her name's Pookie. That's not her real name, but that's what they call her at the hospital. And she said, I'm staying here till your family get here. And then my second nurse, Joanna, was like, we ain't starting this surgery until your husband gets here. He cannot miss this. We need him here. So I love them. I would love them for life for that, because they were telling me when other doctors do deliveries, they just do the deliveries. They don't care who's there, who's not there. They're not waiting. And I thank God that my doctor, shout out to Dr. Hood, was kind enough to wait for my husband and my nurses. You know, they kind of fought for that. And by the time they rolled me back, gave me my epidural, and got everything ready, it was 12 o'clock. He was pulled out and born by 12:23. Piedmont Hospital in Atlanta, they roll. I mean, they have an awesome team, awesome program. Atlanta OB, women's OB, awesome as well. And overall, I had a great experience at Piedmont Hospital in Atlanta. They did a really great job. But I'm kind of getting off topic about why I'm making this video. This video is for all the moms who think, and fathers, that this only happened to them. The more you talk about it, the more you'll find out it's very common, surprisingly common. I mean, when you hear a woman's water broke early, you thinking it's maybe 35 weeks, 34 weeks, maybe 37, like closer to their due date. I've heard of one woman, her water broke at 16 weeks. So, one thing they have in the NICU is they have an art project where they take the little hands of the kids once they get older and they paint them and put them on a white canvas. And when you read it, it'll say born at 16 weeks, I'm 5 now, or born at 20 weeks, and I'm 8 now. And I think it's so great and it's encouraging to see that when you walk in. But talk about it, because I talked to a lot of my nurses and a lot of them have went through the same thing. Talk to your friends. A lot of them you might not know because a lot of people don't want to talk about it. It's happened to them. And if you want to cry, cry. If you want to be angry, be angry. But don't give up. These babies are fighters. Pray as much as you want to pray. Call your pastor, call your friend, call your mosque, call your email, whoever you believe in, call on them. And do not give up. And also, them babies really, really respond to touch. Talk to them every day. Tell them this is your mommy, this is your dad, this is your cousin, this is your grandma. They do recognize voices. Touch them in the same place each time so they can know it's you. Hold them as much as you can. Go every day to see them. They know you're there. And they really heal better when they know they're loved. It might be hard for you. I mean, I broke down. Especially when they start telling you your child might need surgery. might need physical therapy, you might need this, might need that. Just keep your friends and your loved ones and your family close to you. It's important. You cannot do it on your own. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, family and friends. Bye.